Welcome back, folks. This is Steve, and today we're going to build an OPL-2 sound card. This is the Malinov.com Sergey Kisilev ISA OPL-2 version 1.0 card, and it's pretty straightforward. It is a YM3812, which is why it's an OPL-2, bunch of passives and some 74 series logic and an LM386 amplifier, and ready to roll. Let's get after it. Alright folks, this is an interesting situation where I had most of the parts, well, quite a large number of the parts on hand that were needed to get this job done. So I went ahead and raided my stash and filled up on all the parts I could find. So I actually had quite a bit of the sockets. None of these are actually soldered in. I had all of these capacitors and resistors and whatnot. And so what I'm going to do is start working on soldering these in. I'm going to remove the sockets because they're pretty obvious where they go. And then I'm going to bend all the legs back on all of the passives and get them soldered in as a first step. I'm just moving these off. And then this is the bill of materials where I went through and checked off all the things that I believe I have. And there's still quite a lot of things that needed to be ordered. So I've got all of those parts on order over there. Let's just get after getting these parts down on the board as far as we can get them and get them soldered in place. Okay, so that part of the experiment is done. I went through and soldered on all of the pieces that I already had in place. They're all now tacked down nicely, not going anywhere. And I went through the bill of materials and checked off everything that I had, and next it is time to get through the rest of the things. And looking at this, it's either capacitors, which is this block here, or resistors, which is this block here, is going to be the next thing I work on. So flip a coin, let's do resistors. Okay, so let's jump after the resistors. I have a whole box of resistor parts that I have ordered from Mauser, and we will get these put on. Alright, so I did not see that until I was just putting this resistor in place, but it says that it is a 10K resistor on the silk screen. Let's zoom in on that so you can see it. So R13 10K, but on the bill of materials it says R13 2.2K. So I have a 2.2K, we'll stick it in, we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll just sound funny. Although I don't know that I've ever had an OPL-2 based sound card before, so I don't even know what funny would sound like. Okay, you guys might have seen this one while I was working on it, but this one resistor here popped out when I was working on it, so I need to take care of that, and the easy way to take care of that is to figure out where it is on the board, and it's these two pins here. and push on it on one side while you heat it up with the soldering iron from the other side. And I would just be quick about it, because your finger's on there. Getting better. All right, nice and pretty. All fixed. Alright, so that takes care of R14. Alright, so that is all of the resistors. Now it is capacitor time. And that's what I like about these projects. You just wind your way out of parts. Alright, big mess of capacitors. Let's get started at the top, because that's a good place to start. C1 through C11 are 0.1 microfarad ceramic. So we look over here, 4,700 picofarads, 1,000 picofarads, 270, 4,700, that's 2,200, and then these are TDK multi-layer ceramic capacitors, MLCC leaded or leaded, and it doesn't say what size they are. So again, we are looking for 0.1 microfarad, and there are conversion tables between microfarads and picofarads and nanofarads, etc. And I don't know what they are off the top of my head because I don't do this stuff enough. So it could be those, or it could be these, but it can't be any of the other ones. Those are resistors, 10k ohm resistors. Where did 10k ohm resistors go? R2 to R5. I guess I already had those in ordered doubles. Okay. Put that off to the side. Alright, so it's possibly these, and it's possibly these with no part number on it, but it's certainly not those. I only have 4 of those. It's not those. I only have 4 of those. I only have 1 of those. And it's not those because those are listed somewhere else. So what we will do is process of elimination, and we will go on to the next one in the list. And the next one in the list is C18 220, which is this one here. Yeah, this one here, C18. It's a big one. And then these have a negative symbol and an arrow pointing towards the blue. And then on the circuit board, you also have this little notch up here that matches this little notch up here and a plus symbol there. So you put it in according to the orientation, according to the footprint on the board. I'm going to roughly bend that into shape, and these leads are almost the same size as the through holes. Now I'll start working it down into place, and it just falls right in. Perfect. C18 done. 47 nanofarad ceramic C20. And C20 is already done. That's this one right here. And we just didn't check that off the last time. So now 4.7 nanofarad C21 through C24. That's done. And we need 4 of those. 4700 picofarad or 4.7 nanofarad, and there's 4 of those also. And they gave me 2 orders. So these are exactly the same. Okay, so we'll put these off to the side as well. This was a very interesting order because a lot of the parts were not properly in stock. And I had to do substitutions and order some bulk stuff instead of some individual stuff. We'll make it work. Alright, so we're left over with 1 nanofarad C25 and where did the other set go that we were missing? The 11 C1 through C11s. Quantity 11, quantity 10. Alright, so it's got to be these ones here because quantity 11. I told you, process of elimination. Okay, that takes care of that. Do I have any left? C25, 1 nanofarad. I'm going to guess that 1 nanofarad is 1000 picofarad. Alright, jumpers or shunts. I had to go raid another parts bin and get some of those, because we have some jumper headers here for the IRQ and the address of the sound card. And so what I'm going to do is cheat, because that's what I like to do. I don't know why these were in this little bag, but they are, and I have these things for all different kinds of projects all over the place. These things probably came with some other project I've been working on. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So let's do the 3s first. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that looks good. Let's trim this up a little bit. 1, 2, 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in place. I'm going to put this in place. I'm going to put the jumpers down on top of them to hold them together in the proper orientation. Now we're ready to apply some solder. I just get a little ugly, messy part on there first. Then I can go back and grab any other pin after I check it and make sure it looks good. And we can do it again on the next round. And there you go. Let's zoom in on that. Too much. Right about there. So they're all lined up, and they're all soldered, and they're all flush. Good to go. Now we need 4 and 4. Try something different this time, because I'm always liking to try new things to see if I can learn a thing or two. I'm going to put the jumper on first. And then put the whole collection in all at once. There we go. That's so unfulfilling. I can't check it off the list because it's not there to be checked off. Alright, what's next? More sockets have got to be in here somewhere. There's a socket. And I couldn't find these sockets in a collection, so I just got one. It just fell right into place. Alright, now it's time to put chips in. This is the Yamaha YM3812. And it goes into the Yamaha YM3812 socket. And I put it in backwards. Where'd my chip lifter go? There it is. This chip has a dot on it to indicate pin 1 and not a notch. So make sure that the dot lines up with the notch, which lines up with the notch. Or else bad things can happen. And then make sure all of your pins are in the socket where they belong. Alright. YM3812, U6, done. What do we have here? Little guys. Probably wind up putting a bunch of them back, so we'll hold on to that. These are Y3014, and I just need one of them. Same thing, dot, notch, notch. Got that. We'll put the rest of these back. Now we'll know what those are the next time we go to look for them. What are these? '74 LS04, and we need one of those also. This one has a notch and a dimple. LS04. Oh, these are 3 different chips. So I must have got these all from one supplier. This is an LS47. Which I don't appear to need. This is an LS245, which is this big one down here. Again with a dimple and a notch. LS245. Did I read that wrong? No, it's an LS47. What do we have here? RC4136, RC4136. This should be the LM386, and it is very well taped into that pouch on one side, but not the other. LS138, and I already have LS138s. So this was a misorder, and what I don't have is the LS74, so I have everything but one part that I need so far. What is this? Is this going to be the rescuing part? LS74, it is the rescuing part indeed. Alright, there's the 74. I didn't check this one off, but obviously it's on the board. There's that one. And there's that one. So I believe we got check marks all the way down, and we are good to go. Awesome. Alright, so there is the OPL-2 soundboard. And this was interesting. This was the first time that I ran into really large chips with little dimples, and really little chips with dimples and notches. Dimples and notches, all at the same time. Potentiometer, so this is going to be, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is volume control. And then, obviously that's your audio interface. And there we go. So now I need to set the address, and it's written on there 218, 288, 318, 388 with a star next to it, and 3, 5, and 2. So I need to find out what are clear address spaces to put this thing into. So let me get all of this cleaned up, and we will come back in a totally different camera arrangement. Okay, so I've got the old Packard Bell set up on the desktop, and we have the finished sound card here. Looking pretty fancy if I don't say so myself. Before we get started with the sound card, we need to figure out where it fits with the machine in terms of IRQs and address space. IRQs are interrupt request lines, and this machine has some in use and it has some free. My choices with the sound card are 3, 5, and 2 through a jumper block right there, and it's currently set to 5 because why not? So let's get this thing booted up, see what IRQs are available, and then get this thing set and get her in and get her tested. Alright, so we've got her all booted up into DOS 401, my favorite DOS, as you remember from previous videos. Let's run check it. Nope, not there. Let's run check it. Alright, and so inside of check it there is system information, which it went into very quickly because I pressed too many keys, and there's interrupts. And it shows me that interrupt 5 is the hard disk, and this is currently set to 5. I have a choice of 3, which is available, and 2, which is VGA, so that means we go to 3. Alright, so now we verified the machine's running, we verified we have an open IRQ, and the only other choice is the address, and I put it at the one that had a star on it, which is 388. So we'll have to see if that works, and if it doesn't, we will have to move it around a bit, but that's easy enough. Alright, so power off. Let's get the case open. I've already taken the screws out of the side. And we need to free up a slot. So we remove the slot cover. Oh, no scan code from keyboard. That is absolutely correct, because I didn't plug the keyboard in. Set it into high speed. And let's check this thing out. This is Commander Keen 4, one of my favorite games from my childhood days. Oh, it detected the Sound Blaster / Adlib. Let's press any key. New game. Easy game. Don't hear anything. Oh, there it is. So it's pretty loud. It's got a LM386 amplifier on it. It sounds like I would expect it to sound. Keen makes a run for the border village. A thinly veiled Taco Bell reference. Alright, that is all working. Let's try one more. So, what review of a DOS-based device would be complete without Planet X3? So let's choose 3 for Adlib. Oh, that works. Nice. And it shuts down properly too. Excellent. Well, this is just me and my boy Billy here hanging out, and Billy's sounding pretty good. This pretty much sounds like what I remember it sounding like, and if it was, I don't know, a couple of hertz off, I probably wouldn't notice one way or the other. But I think it sounds pretty good. It was a very easy build, as all of Sergey's cards are. I highly recommend, if you want to build some PC-based cards, that you grab Sergey's cards. They are available wherever fine PCBs are available. So I think this is a fantastic project. One more in the bag, getting closer to the finish line. We will see you in the next one. Thanks for being awesome.